Man, I am looking like a red-headed werewolf today. What's going on, hikers? In today's video, we are talking about some pieces of gear that are going to help make your life so much easier and comfortable while you're out into the backcountry. And that is a good thing because our mission here on this channel is to help you increase your quality of life on trail. Now, I'm going to start from the top with a lot of times, especially tent camping, not so much hammock, but if I'm tent camping, I'm taking a sleeping pad with me. Now this is the Nemo Tensor Alpine, and it's not our first piece of gear actually. It is what comes with the Nemo Tensor. And everything I'm going to talk about today, I will try to find a link for it and put it in the description if I can find one. This Nemo Tensor comes with an inflation bag, and one end connects to your pad, and the other end, it's got a wider opening, and you'll blow into it from about a foot away. And this whole bag will inflate, and you roll it down, and it only takes a few breaths, and you will have this pad completely blown up. And if you can find a brand that has an inflation bag with it, they are awesome. Now some don't, and I bought a Thermarest X-Lite, NeoAir X-Lite, and sometimes I'll use that instead of the Nemo Tensor. And I actually used the X-Lite on my thru hike of the long trail, and I did not like blowing that thing up every night. But one thing you can do if you want to take it to a new level of lazy, you can buy something like this. This is a micro pump. Thermarest makes their own version of it. I know Condiment makes their own version of it. Or you can get some third-party one off of a different website. But these things, all you do, I know it's pretty loud, but you just turn it on and, first you connect it to your pad. Then you turn it on and it blows up your pad for you. Now I find it takes a little bit longer using something like this, like an inflation micro pump, but you don't have to use your own breath. And I gotta tell you, one time I was in Colorado at 13,000 feet, and when you're at that elevation, blowing up something like a sleeping pad, whew, it is rough to say the least. So on this trip that I was on not too long ago, one of the other people in our hiking group actually had a Thermarest micro pump, and I was so thankful. I asked them if I could use it, and they said yes. And I gotta tell you, that extra 2, 3, maybe 4 ounces, depending on which brand you buy, is worth its weight in gold whenever you don't want to blow up that sleeping pad. So I would try out either using something like this, the inflation bag, if your bag comes with one, or if your pad comes with one rather, or try out your own little micro pump, see how you like that. Our second piece of gear today is as simple as a Ziploc bag. And you're like, what is this Ziploc bag for? Well, I take 2 with me on every trip that have dedicated uses. Now they do wear out, so I have to change them out every so often. If you wanted to order like a Dyneema stuff sack or Diddy bag, that would last longer. But I have this one only for first aid, so stuff like Tums, ibuprofen, that kind of thing, as well as some Band-Aids, triple antibiotic ointment, anti-itch gel, anything to do with first aid, as well as my hygiene kit. So I have like toothpaste, toothbrush, dental floss, anything to do with staying clean out into the backcountry. I also have a separate Ziploc bag for all of my toiletries, which would be like toilet paper, my spade, my poop hammock, baby wipes, anything like that. So that second piece of gear, pick you out some kind of bag and keep that in your gear closet. I don't take my toothbrush that I normally use. I have a separate toothbrush, toothpaste, all that just in this bag, so it's quick and easy to grab whenever I'm ready to head into the woods. And I don't have to hunt all that stuff down in the bathroom trying to get it all ready for my trip. Our third piece of gear today, you can spend as little as you want on this or as much as you want. So I'll give you 3 examples of what I've bought in the past. It is some type of watch that you're okay with it being out there with you in the rain, in the dirt, in the mud, getting scraped up on rocks and that kind of stuff. I would suggest an adventure watch. Now, on my long trail thru hike, I just bought an $8 watch at Walmart and wore that the entire time, and it did what I needed it to do. It would help me figure out my pace because I'd use a stopwatch feature on it, and if I could if I knew how many miles I had done, then I could just calculate it in my head. But then I got done with the long trail and I was like, man, it would be a lot more convenient for my watch to just monitor this stuff for me. So I actually did wear my Apple Watch Series 1 for the longest time, but it died on me really fast. Like I would start a hike in the morning and then by lunchtime it would already be dead. And I was like, I'm not charging this thing over and over and over. So then I decided to buy something that was quite a bit more expensive, and it is a Garmin Fenix. And I gotta say, I am in love with this watch. Not only does it tell me my pace, and it tells me, of course, the time, and I can control my phone from it. It also records my GPS data. Now, the Apple Watch done that too, but it was kind of clunky, and I think it depended on if I had service. So Garmin is knocking it out of the park with this. Now, when I was shopping for my watch, I really didn't know what to buy. And that actually leads me to today's video sponsor, which is backcountry.com. Your perfect one-stop shop for all things outdoors. You know, you can buy whatever you want on there when it comes to the outdoors, whether it is somebody that likes to run marathons or maybe you like to water ski. Personally, I like to backpack, but there's a whole assortment of different pieces of gear that you can buy on there. And whenever I was researching for my watch, I was like, where do I begin? So I linked up with one of their gear heads. Now you can call them on the phone if you want to, but I preferred to chat with them, and it's super easy. These are experts in the field when it comes to whatever outdoor activity that you're talking about. I talked to them for like 30 minutes, 45, maybe even an hour, and I asked them all kinds of questions about what watch to buy. And then I was looking at this one, I was like, okay, what about this feature? And I was comparing the different models, answered all my questions perfectly. Now, if you are interested in shopping on backcountry.com, make sure you use the code JeremiahS15 to get 15% off of your first order. I gotta tell you, backcountry.com is a longtime supporter of the channel. Really appreciate you all supporting the channel and giving everybody a great resource to find whatever backpacking needs or any other type of outdoor adventures that they're going on. So thanks again, backcountry.com, for sponsoring today's video. And make sure you all save yourself some money buying your gear by using the code JeremiahS15 for 15% off of your first order. Some exclusions do apply. Our fourth piece of gear today, I have a few different ones to show you in front of me here. Everything from ultralight to super heavy, but it is some type of saw to take with you whenever you're headed out into the woods. And I love making a fire whenever I get to camp. Now, some days I'm logging a lot of miles and I don't even think about a fire, but most of the time I'm out there just enjoying the surroundings around me. And if you want to go super ultralight, you could take something like this. This was sent to me by a subscriber, and it is about as light as it gets when it comes to a saw. Or my personal favorite, the Silky Gom Boy. This thing is so awesome. It's the perfect size for taking down those kind of small to mid-sized trees that are great for cutting up and keep feeding the fire. Or if you want their giant version, the Silky Big Boy, it's awesome too. And great company, Silky Saws. Or you could get something that's more on the budget side, like this Gerber saw. It folds out. I won't take the time to fold it out and show you all of that, but there's a whole assortment of different saws that you can buy. It makes your life so much easier whenever you're ready to start a fire, and especially keep feeding that fire with some bigger logs. Oftentimes you're gonna be out there without a saw, and you can only use what you can, right? You can't take down a dead tree or cut up something that's on the ground, so you're kind of stuck. Now I will tell you that if you find some stuff that's too big to just break over your knee or with your hands, you can break it by sticking it between two trees that are standing and then just pushing on it until it snaps. Be careful doing that, but I much prefer taking a saw. I take a saw with me almost on every trip. Our fifth piece of gear today, the person that showed it to me deserves a huge shout out. It is Backpacking with Jason, or as we like to call him around these parts, Mr. Backpacking with Jason, sir, the king of Kentucky backpacking. I'll link his channel above. He makes some awesome content, and I go backpacking with him a lot. Thank God he does these trip videos, because I feel like he does more trip videos with me in them than I do myself. But he takes these big meals, like a steak. He'll bring one of these little travel-sized bottles. You can buy one of these at Walmart or Walgreens, or usually they're in the travel section of a big box store, and he fills it up with whatever condiment he needs for the trip. So for example, if he's bringing steak and potatoes, he will fill one of these up with A1 or Heinz 47 or whatever other condiment that you need for your specific meal. But when you get back, stick it back in the fridge. This thing will last you a while. Starts getting old, pour it out, wash it out, put you some new in there. But a little travel size bottle, awesome. It's not just for shampoo and conditioner and that kind of thing. Take you something to spice up your meal at the end of the day. Maybe some hot sauce to go in your pad thai. I don't know. Whatever you want, use it in the backcountry. If you've enjoyed today's video, make sure you give me one of these, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell for the latest notifications. We'll see you in the next one.